The government bill to allow the building of a high-speed rail link between the West Midlands and London has been given royal assent. It means High Speed 2 is now law and construction will begin later this year.
Well, the project has been highly controversial since it was first proposed 8 years ago, and those opposed to it say it's a waste of public money. Andy Bevan has been looking at what the £56 billion HS2 line will bring when it arrives in 2026.
Her Majesty has signified her royal assent to the following acts. High Speed Rail, London to West Midlands Act.
With those words from the Speaker of the House of Commons this morning, the High Speed Rail Bill became law. HS2 is Britain's second high-speed rail line. The first was the Channel Tunnel link. It'll cost at least £56 billion, the largest construction project in Western Europe, with trains running at 250 miles an hour between Birmingham and London by 2026, cutting the journey time to around 49 minutes. This will be the West Midlands hub of HS2, although there will be a small parkway-style station serving Birmingham Airport. Curzon Street Station was built in 1838 at a cost of £26,000. Passenger services were switched to Birmingham New Street in 1893, but Curzon Street carried on as a goods depot until 1966. 60 years on, in 2026, it'll reopen. Its half a dozen platforms will serve the high-speed trains to London and eventually the second phase of HS2 up to Manchester and Leeds.
HS2 will release valuable capacity on our classic rail network, and that will mean extra freight trains, taking lorries off roads, and also releasing paths for local commuter trains. And we've got to work to make sure that when we construct this railway, we make it affordable to everyone.
It's estimated the economic input to the Midlands could reach £14 billion, creating more than 100,000 jobs and 2,000 apprenticeships. Regeneration around Curzon Street alone will bring 36,000 jobs as well as 4,000 new homes. Some local firms like Node Urban Design are already benefiting from the project. The city centre consultancy is working with Birmingham City University to create a master plan for the transformation of the area. Director Katie Kershaw, a former Birmingham Young Professional of the Year, says HS2 will allow the West Midlands to attract and retain the brightest and best people across all areas of business.
Creative people often felt they needed to go to London in order to have that, really powerful career, and that simply won't be the case anymore. With the project receiving royal assent today, we see that there's going to be lots of opportunity in the future to engage directly with HS2 through their supply chain. We'd really like to be involved with the actual physical delivery of the project.
Close by the station, the National College for High Speed Rail will open this September. Across the road from Aston University's Engineering Academy, it'll provide young people with the specialist training, skills and qualifications required to build HS2 and future rail infrastructure projects.
There are just so many opportunities for me now, especially from just this one project, that I can definitely see myself working on this project for most of my career.
I believe it'll provide much needed support for me over the long run. So not just at the start of my career, I want it to go through retirement, you could say.
As HS2 heads south from Birmingham, it tunnels underground, passes over motorways and crosses through farmland, dividing the landscape and opinion. An economic boost, claim those in favour, an environmental blight, argue those whose homes and businesses lie in its path. Hundreds have protested, thousands have signed petitions, but construction will now begin within months. Close to HS2's Birmingham interchange near the airport lies Chelmsley Wood, one of the largest housing estates in the country. Green space around here is at a premium, but HS2 will run right through this recreation ground on a 16-metre high embankment, that's about the same height as these power lines, and trains will pass within a few hundred metres of the nearest homes. The government had wanted to buy land near here to restore some of the green areas lost to HS2, but last December the House of Lords concluded that was not necessary.
This open space is important for recreation and for a lot of people in the local area, for our children, for people on Sunday football, for dog walkers. This sort of thing is very much part of the fabric of the area, and we're losing that. My constituents feel really aggrieved that they've been cut out of the democratic process, and it's been the House of Lords, the unelected House of Lords, that have made the decision to actually take the green space away from us.
Last November, ITV's Tonight programme surveyed 2,000 people about HS2. Less than 20% thought they would use it, and just 1 in 10 thought it would benefit the majority of commuters. 15% of people felt the project is worth its current price tag of $56 billion, but almost 60% didn't. And one MP recently wrote to the Stop HS2 campaign, claiming to have heard from an HS2 insider that the final cost could rise to £200 billion. HS2 Limited says it remains on budget. At Burton Green near Kenilworth, campaigners fought in vain to save their village hall from the bulldozers. They will get a new one on the edge of the village, but today's royal assent for HS2 has left them cynical in defeat.
It's, some relief, to be honest, to be able to wash my hands of it and look forward in 20 years' time to saying, I told you so. The idea that it could reach 200 billion, I can completely believe. Top politicians in this country believed what the construction industry told them, that we have to build HS2 and we have to give them billions and billions of taxpayers' money for the privilege of doing it. And that's what this has been about from start to finish.
The Queen has signified her royal assent to the following acts. High Speed Rail London to West Midlands Act.
With the House of Lords echoing today's royal assent announcement in the Commons, HS2 has stopped being a possibility and become a reality. For some, it's the start of an exciting journey. For others, it's the end of the line. But for everyone along its route from the West Midlands to Westminster, the time for HS2 has arrived. Andy Bevan, ITV News.